This is Goodson McKee of Waco, Texas. On this record, you will hear the most realistic and most effective game in bird calling sounds in the world. Now, most of these sounds are the actual recorded voices of live animals and birds recorded in the woods or in captivity. Now, some are produced by expert mouth callers. All of these sounds are original recordings produced by Johnny Stewart, who's recognized by True Magazine, Sports Afield, and many other national publications as being the leader in the game and bird calling field. Now listen to these samples of some of the sounds recorded by Johnny. Here's the distress cries of a jackrabbit, the first actual wild rabbit sound ever recorded for game callers. Any predator that hears that will come running. Now here's a sample of the first cottontail sounds ever offered game callers. First, a rough, gravelly voiced rabbit. Now, here's a high-pitched, clear-voiced cottontail. The recorded squealing of a baby red fox brings other fox running. Now, listen to one of the most experienced fox callers in the world as he lip squeaks a fox into close quarters. Here's a quail in distress. And now, a meadowlark. And a kid goat in distress. Those sounds are mighty tempting to a big cat, coyote, or wolf. A curious or hungry coon will investigate these cries of a seagull. Or the squeals of a baby coon. Don't play this in the woods when there's a greenhorn in camp. You're likely to scare him out of his wits. The sounds you just heard were the mating cries of a female mountain lion. Do you suppose that any male lion could resist coming to that sound? Here's a javelina pig squealing. No coyote could resist that. Other javelinas will come to it too. Now, here's something that hunters everywhere have been waiting for. Let's listen to a small sample of the most effective crow calling sound in the world. It's labeled Dying Crow. Now, this is an original recording of the death cry of a crow. You'll notice that only one crow is heard. That sound calls crows when nothing else will. For years, hunters have wanted recordings of from 1 to 3 crows for calling instead of a conglomeration of crows calling out at once. Here's one crow quarreling with an owl. Now listen to 3 crows harassing an owl. These are terrific crow calling sounds. In addition to these great recorded calling sounds, Johnny Stewart offers an instruction record for varmint callers who blow mouth calls. This record is designed to teach a hunter or wildlife photographer to properly use any mouth-blown predator call now on the market. Quoting from True's Hunting Yearbook for 1965, biggest hit in this field recently, Johnny Stewart of Waco, Texas, with his natural recordings of forage critters in distress. Stewart appears to have scooped the field with this new sound, since the authentic cries of harassed creatures beat the imitative efforts of human callers. Try his recordings and you'll agree that no truer words were ever written. You see, Johnny Stewart also produces the electric call. It's a portable, transistorized game caller which reproduces these calling sounds in the woods. The Sports Afield Hunting Annual for 1965 says, "The man who's done more than anybody else in the field to carefully record actual live, authentic sounds is Johnny Stewart of Waco, Texas." Johnny Stewart's calling sounds are obviously the best because he understands the game caller's problems and considers them in the preparation of each recording and in the design of each feature of his caller. A hunter or wildlife photographer spends hours of time preparing for and making his hunt. It's only natural that he should want to use equipment of the highest quality and effectiveness when he gets down to the real business of calling.